Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our live stream. Hello to everybody who is in the chat and everybody who is watching this on replay. I've just got back from a Norwegian cruise on board the Norwegian Sun, a cruise around the Canary Islands and Gibraltar. And my goodness, it was absolutely fantastic. My voice sounds like it's going a little bit. It's just going because I went to an event yesterday with Princess Cruises. It was very loud in the room, so it was kind of like just normal conversations have to be shouted. I think I've just used up my voice. It doesn't hurt or anything. I'm not sick. I'm fine, but I'm aware it sounds, at least to me, a little bit strained. Cruise boys say, love the jumper. Thank you very much. Now it has hit December. I think it's time for the sparkles to come out. So getting a bit Christmassy here. If you do have a question for me, if you can start it with question, just like Kevin says here, it just makes it so much easier for me to pick out what is a question and what is just people talking. I'll do my best to answer as many questions as I can. The comments do go pretty fast, so if I don't answer it, I'm not ignoring it. I'm just trying to do as many as I can during the live stream. Yeah, Justin says his voice is the same too. I was talking to Justin a lot of yesterday, so maybe that's why. It feels fine. I'm just aware that it sounds like a little bit strange. But yes, it is a shock coming back from Malaga to England. It is very dark in England. It's been raining all day, and it was so lovely to see the blue skies. It was really nice for me too because I took my first cruise on Norwegian when I was 11 years old, and it's a real kind of walk down memory lane for me to cruise with Norwegian. That said, there is a lot of pressure on Norwegian because that's kind of what I compare everything else to. And I have this idea of them in my mind. And the cruise I went on was on board the Norwegian Sun. I've never been on Sun, but I was on her sister ship when I was a child. So somewhere in the back of my mind, I recognize things, and it has been updated a lot since then. It is very different, but the kind of structure of it, the atrium, the stairs, everything's still in the same place. So that was really cool for me. Really cool. Cruise Boys, was the Sun as good as you remember? I think so, yes. It was quite, I don't know. I've done different Norwegian cruises since then. I haven't done any of the biggest new ships for Norwegian. I've done kind of like Encore, Breakaway, Getaway, those ships. And I think it's a very different experience doing like an older Norwegian ship versus the new ones. But it was very much what I expected from this cruise. It was more kind of relaxing. It was only 75% full. I asked for reception, so that was pretty cool. Compared to if you go on Prima, it's going to be a very different experience from Sun. The question from Charlie just says, is the Norwegian Sun repaired after the iceberg? So the Norwegian Sun, I booked the Norwegian Sun, and within a couple of weeks of me booking this ship, she crashed into an iceberg. I think technically iceberg, you're not supposed to use the word iceberg because it's not classed as an iceberg. A piece of ice hit the ship. But it was fine. They just went back to port. They fixed it. They went in for a little bit of a refit or a fix up, and it is fine now. Just totally fine. Do not worry. Do not worry. Thank you so much for your questions. I've got so many in the chat already. I saw one that I thought was interesting. Where is it? Where is it? Question. I wish I could use some sort of thing to highlight the questions to me because the comment section on my screen is very small. But here's the question. This question is from Owen, and he says, can we see the secret Hudson project you've been working on rather than just pictures? No, because it's a secret. I cannot show you the secret. I don't have it to show you yet, but I have given you everything I have at the minute. And when I have more, I'll be able to tell people more about it. But I've been working on a project, and I think it is the best thing. I'm really excited about it. But we should be getting little Hudson plushies soon. That hopefully you guys will take on your cruises, show me where he's going. He's got a little captain's hat that says Hudson on it. He's got Emma Cruises on like a little neck thing. It's very sweet. I do have to do kind of a minimum order to get this made. At the minute, I've just had all the designs. That's what Owen's talking about. I've shown the designs, the sample designs to the Patreons and the channel members, but when I'm allowed to share things online, then I'll share the proper photos with everybody. But it's kind of like you have to get a minimum order and then they're made. If we don't sell enough, then they're never going to exist. So I'm planning on doing this for charity. I think that's a nice thing to do. I don't want to shave my head again, but it's about time, I think, that we did something charitable on this channel. So that is the plan at the moment, and I'll let you know more. I'll let you know more. Emma's been cloning Hudson. Not quite cloning Hudson. Yes, absolutely inspired by Plushie. Yes, he's my little Plushie is around. I didn't take him on my last cruise. I'm sorry, but yes, it's the same sort of design. But I wanted it to say Hudson on it, and I wanted it to be. It's exactly the right colors of Hudson, even though he's got this little white bit. I don't know if you can see that way on his eye, like a little white bit. Like I put that in the design. I put his little pink paw things in there. So yes, well, I'm so excited. Next question says, hi Emma, what do you think of celestial cruises? I took a celestial cruise pre-pandemic and it was fantastic. It was the most tiring cruise that I've ever taken, because that cruise that I took, we visited 2 ports per day. 2 ports per day. You would have, you get up in the morning, 7 a.m., you're in port. You might leave that port at 11 a.m. to get to the next port for 1 p.m. to have a different port in the afternoon. So that was tiring, but it was fantastic. We saw so much of Greece in, I think, 5 days. So I would recommend it. Hudson plushie for scale. That is such a good idea, because if I do that, you'll have them too, so you can also know the size. That sounds awesome. Yes, I'm hoping to do that. The plan is he'll be about 5 inches was the spec. I've got all the proper drawings done and everything, all the materials. I wanted him to be like soft, because Hudson's soft. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Oh my goodness, so many questions. Hi Emma, have you been on a cruise with a late night dance club that goes to the late AM? Yeah, if you're on a cruise line, if you're cruising with Virgin or something, if you're cruising with Costa, there will be nightclubs that are open late at night. If you go on a cruise with a cruise line like Princess, probably no one is going to be there at 9 p.m. My dad was the only person in the nightclub at 9 p.m. on our Princess cruise that we did, because it's just, that's not what it's about. Norwegian, they're normally partying quite late into the night. Royal Caribbean, they'll be partying late into the night. If you do, if you do a theme cruise like a Marella cruise, I don't even know when the party never really stopped on the Marella theme cruises, because people would be drinking by the pool at 9 a.m. So I don't know if they ever went to bed, to be quite honest. But it was great fun. Are you a Harry Potter fan? It's the jumper. Yeah, as much as anybody else. I'm not a Harry Potter. I'm not all in. I don't have all of the trivia in my brain, but I'll give it a good go. And also, yeah, I suppose this is like a lightning. It's kind of Harry Pottery. I like it. Have you ever had so many questions in a live chat at the same time? I did the most comments and everything I've ever had in a live chat was one I did with Tony, and we had over 1,000 people watching that live stream. And I'm sort of like, I can do it when it's 300, 400, 500. That's where I'm used to now. But 1,000 is very, very different. Very, very different. What is the best cruise line to see? Greece. Celestial, absolutely. If you want a proper Greek cruise, I think if you're going to go to Greece with a Greek cruise line where you have Greek food. The people who work on there are Greek. The entertainment is Greek. The music is Greek. It's just immersive Greek. A lot of cruise lines do it, of course, really good ones. But if you want to do like a proper Greek cruise, Celestial is the one. Cruise boys say on Electric Sunsets. I think the question is, did they go to their bed? Lol. Some people, I don't know where some people went. Some people, I think, slept on sun loungers, to be quite honest. Carol says, has Hudson recovered from his vet visit? He has mostly, I think. I don't think we'll see him on this live stream, because the way I get him on this live stream is with Dreamies, and I can't give him Dreamies because he's not allowed to eat Dreamies, because he had dental surgery, had a tooth taken out, bless him, and he was quite high on the medicine when he came home, which was quite funny. But he's on the mend, thankfully. Cat dental is very, very expensive. I did not realize. My mistake. I spent a lot of time on this channel talking about the importance of insurance, travel insurance, cruise insurance, and I have cat insurance, but I renewed a couple of months ago, didn't tick the dental box. So that's a lesson I've learned. A lesson I've learned. How were the shows on the Sun? Ooh. She said the shows were not very good on the sailing after the iceberg. I think it's a shame. On Norwegian, they have very, very good entertainment, and they always have like a big musical or a big Broadway show, but they don't do that on the older ships at all. And I really miss that. They could do it. I think the shows that we saw from the show team were really fantastic. That's the type of show that I like. I like the musicals, the costume changes, the choreographed dancing. That's what I like. But they also had quite a lot of like, there was a lady playing an electric violin. They had a Frank Sinatra. They had a Frankie Valli. They had quite a lot of not show team shows, individual shows like magicians. I guess there's quite a lot of variety in there. For me, my favorite, I just like the colorful musicals with songs that I know. But some people, don't like that at all. Thank you for the super chat. It says, "Hi Emma, what time of year do you recommend for a Norway cruise? Depends on your purpose of a Norway cruise. The peak season, the busiest, when it's going to be the most expensive, is in the school holidays, the summer holidays here in the UK, August, July. That's peak time. For me, I don't want to go in the school holidays, particularly if I don't have to, because I don't have any kids that are coming with me. I don't want to spend that extra money. So the best time for me is kind of into September. The season normally goes into September or earlier, June, May, June, even May, June, September for me personally. But then if you want to go to Norway because you want to see the Northern Lights, you're going to have to go in winter and it's going to be dark a lot of the time. So it depends what your priority is when you're going to Norway. But I quite like that shoulder season because it's cheaper. There's not kids everywhere. And it's still a chance of good weather. You can get bad weather or good weather any day in Norway. It's not like, oh, I'll go in summer and it'll be sunny. I've been a couple of times. I did a week in June, rained every single day. It's not like that. Adam says, what room would you choose between a balcony and an inside yacht club room on MSC? This is a fantastic question. This is a question that I've thought about before because I've never stayed in the yacht club. And the yacht club is basically like a premium area within the MSC cruise ships, and you get access to your own restaurant, your own lounge. I think the answer to this question would come down to when I was on this cruise. If I was taking a cruise that was really busy and it was in the school holidays, there were lots of kids, there wasn't space to sit in the bars and the pool deck, MSC cruises can get quite busy, then I would like to do the Inside Yacht Club just for the space. But then I took an MSC cruise recently. It was not full. We never had any problem getting a seat because it wasn't that warm outside. And in that situation, I don't feel like I need to pay for guaranteed space like on the pool deck. So it would depend for me, I think, on the itinerary, where I was going, why I was going. What was your favorite port of call during this cruise? I think it is Madeira. Madeira is absolutely beautiful. It's really, really lovely. And it's nice to go there at this time of year. If you're leaving from the UK, it's still kind of 25 degrees Celsius. It said it got up to 31 on the boards that are on the beach. Not sure if it actually did, but for us, that's like the best summer day. And it's just so nice. It's really, really nice. So we also went to Lanzarote, we went to Tenerife, we ended up in Gibraltar, which is very, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, cruise boys say depends on the ports and what package for drinks. Yeah, sometimes you'll get extra things if you book certain cabins, and it's worth looking into all of that. But I wouldn't say just automatically yes or automatically no. Jim says, how do you find the time to be almost continually cruise content creating, doing downloads via airport Wi-Fi or telephone when in port? Do you and Jono ever get the chance to just a holiday traveler? Well, the thing is, I always think to myself, oh, this is great. The flights are cheap somewhere. I'll go there and I'll not do a cruise. And then I always just come back to cruising every single time because I look at the prices of hotels. I think I would just be bored now. I used to do a lot of like half board, cheap, go to Crete for a week. Fantastic. I used to do a lot of city breaks, but now I don't know if I really want to. I cruise a lot. I absolutely do. But I split up my cruises. Some are more worky, some are more kind of family related. But yes, things like this last cruise, I was trying to do my Patreon podcast that I do every single week for the channel members and my Patreons. I had the Wi-Fi on the Norwegian cruise, but it blocked upload to YouTube completely. Just they didn't want me to upload to YouTube, so I had to do that in the airport, which was fine. I had plenty of time in the airport. But yes, I'm normally going between different things, trying to use everything. Oh, Jenny says, trying Cunard for the first time. Are their inside cabins good? So I've stayed in the inside cabin on Queen Mary 2. and it was nice. I think it was one of my favorite inside cabins. There's nothing particularly amazing about it, but I don't remember anything bad about it. Like it's very, very standard. Inside cabins, it's hard to kind of deviate from that plan when you've got space for two beds, a desk, and a bathroom. But the bathroom was like a fair size. There were enough plug sockets. We had enough storage. The bedding was very nice. You know, quality on Cunard. So yes, I think so. I think all the cabins on Cunard are pretty nice. Pretty nice. Brent says, please hit the like button. It helps. It does. It really does. And thank you, Brent, who made a YouTube video opening. I sent Christmas cards to my Patreons and he opened it on his channel, which was really, really cool to see. It's surreal to see these popping up everywhere. I know I sent them there, but to see that they've got to different places is really, really cool. Yeah. I've got people in here from the USA, we've got Canada, we've got people from all over. Amazing, amazing. Nancy, hello Nancy, nice to see you. Tom and Dom say we would love to see 6 on board Norwegian. I would love to see that. I have seen 6 on land, but on Norwegian that'd be fantastic. They're very good at their Broadway shows. They're really good at them, and I don't know why they just don't do them on some of their ships. I think that's a shame. I guess maybe they would say it's the size of the theater because the theater is so much bigger on their newer ships. But I feel like you could do something if you wanted to. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert has been my favorite for a long, long time. I saw that twice when I was on Norwegian Epic, and I've never come out of a show and been like, I'm going back again tomorrow. We had to wait. We had to like be in the reserve seats, of course, because if people haven't seen it, I don't want to take their space. So I waited until like the last minute in the line, and then managed to get in. So that was amazing. That was super cool. What are your top 3 go-to cruises for vegetarians? Azamara, Azamara, Azamara. Literally, if you're a vegetarian or vegan and you can book an Azamara cruise, book an Azamara cruise. It's fantastic because it's like you have the normal menu, you have the vegetarian vegan menu, and it's the same things just with a meat substitute. That's all I want. You know, I still want the same. I still want the potatoes. I still want everything else. I don't want you to take everything away and give me a stuffed pepper. Like, I don't, that's not what I want. So Azamara are really good for that. The American cruise lines, like Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, don't have a lot of vegetarian choice. If you're going with Virgin, though, Virgin are very, very good. So Azamara, Virgin. I think MSC are quite, you know, they have options. I know MSC get a bad rap for their food sometimes, but they always have quite a few vegetarian options. So, yes. Have you thought of doing Holland America? I'd love to do Holland America. Love to. Have you? Did you get into the Haven? I have never been into the Haven. So the Haven is like the MSC Yacht Club, but on Norwegian. I only went there when I was 13, 14 maybe, and I snuck in with a friend and I ate some sweets and I ran away. But it was fantastic. It was very good. I'd love to get in there again. I have not been on Explorer of the Seas. No, 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 no. Independence of the Seas will be my closest. That's not. If you go way back on my channel, if you go many, many, many years back, you'll see. If you can start your questions with question, it really makes it easier for me because I know I'm missing a lot of questions just because I can't see. I can't see. Gina says, "Can I have a plushie? How much will it be?" So they're not. It's not. It doesn't exist yet. It's just an idea. But hopefully soon I will have the sample and I'll show you all the sample. If you think it's a good idea, I can set it live and we will just accept sales for like 2 weeks or something, and we'll see how many we get. If we get enough, they will exist. I think it's $14.99, which I think is a pretty fair price for a custom thingy. And I'm planning on donating it all to charity. Of course, a percentage of that is the stuff, you know, so it's not $14.99 to charity, but whatever I would get, I'm planning on doing for charity. I'm thinking of doing Mercy ships. I don't know if you guys know much about Mercy ships, but I think they're a pretty good charity, and it obviously links in with our ship stuff. So we'll think about that. That's the plan. I have not done AIDA yet. I know Cruise Boys in the chat. They speak German, so I'm waiting for them to do it. Or I'll go with them. If they go, then we'll do that. But I would like to. When is the Norwegian video going up? So I think I'm going to split this video into 2 or 3 videos because there's some very distinct things about it. For me, it was like going on this ship that I went on as a child what would it be like? Does a 2001 cruise ship still stand up against the big Norwegian ship? So that's kind of one angle I want to take. I also want to take the angle of like on this cruise, I paid barely anything for it. I don't think. I paid the normal price. I didn't get a travel agent discount. I don't get anything. I paid the price on the website, but it was less than £100 per night, including the drinks. And the drinks, they have like a free at sea promotion. So I bought the free at sea promotion, which was £149 each for all the drinks, two specialty meals, and some Wi Fi, which is pretty good. And also, I do have the highest loyalty status with Norwegian already. So I get like free bag of laundry, I get other specialty meal. So I felt like I really consumed like a lot in this cruise. So there's definitely like a question of like, how much value versus how much I paid. And I think I did very well on this one. The ship was only 75% full though. So I think it's just because it was this time of year, this itinerary, a smaller ship, it was just not as sold out. Yeah, so it works for me. Hmm. Tom says, how have you found transitioning over to being a full-time cruise blogger since making the jump full-time? So I left my day job I resigned on January 1st, 2021, in the way that it seems like that's the thing to do on January 1st. And I had a 3-month notice period. So I was basically taking a guess of when would the cruise industry restart. I've been working on everything cruise related, building up a business in the industry since 2016. So I thought I knew what I was doing to an extent by that point, but the pandemic happened, and obviously that was not in the plan. That really took away all of my revenue, all of my traffic, everything. So I thought, now's not the time to leave in 2020. Sit tight, do the day job. But as soon as 2021 came around, I thought we're going to be back on cruise ships soon. So I resigned. And thankfully, I was on that the first sailing out of the UK in May. So it was a pretty good guess, I think. I think the things I like about it are also the things that I struggle with, in that I can set my own schedule now. But the problem is with setting my own schedule now is that I have no limits and I do not take any time off. Because I just, if I have downtime, I want to be doing stuff because I really like it. But you don't want to always, always push harder and harder and harder. There's like a limit. So, yes. Are you taking a Christmas or New Year's cruise? I have no plans to this year. No, I think I'm going to be on land this year for Christmas. I have not done Norwegian Joy. Nuh-uh. No, I didn't get back over to the USA until September, this recent September. That's the first time I've been back to the USA since the pandemic. Yeah. Nope, nope, nope. I did a cruise in the Caribbean, but it went from Barbados. So we never went to the US. Never went to the US. Emma with JJ Cruise on a college spring break cruise. I would do any cruise that JJ Cruise are on that I could do just to be with JJ Cruise because they're absolutely fantastic. They're amazing. Is MSC good about food allergies? My husband and I are planning on taking a cruise with them in 2025. I think if it's allergies or intolerances, I think it's quite different. I think MSC are quite good on their menus at having allergens listed, but I would not go on an MSC cruise if I was very allergic to a thing and then order a dish. I just feel like something may go wrong there. Communication is not the strongest point of MSC. Things get mixed up quite a lot, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm happy to go with the flow. Sometimes they bring me something else, I just eat it. I don't really care. But if you were very allergic to something, I think it's just because they have such a high amount of guests compared to the crew. If you look at like Azamara, they've got so many more crew for a person, so they can take a lot more time with it. I would just be a bit nervous. If you're just intolerant to something and like it's not the end of the world, then it's totally fine. The things are marked on the menu. Almost always it'll be okay. But that's my honest thoughts on that one. Honest thoughts on that one. Do you find crew react or treat you differently once they recognize you? They almost never recognize me, and I make such an effort to not tell the cruise line that I'm there. To, if I'm going with someone else, book it under their name. I only film, on my phone. I'm not walking around with a big camera. I don't want anyone to know that I'm there. Occasionally, if it's someone who's like, a dancer may recognize me, or cruise director maybe, because they're on social media a lot of the time. But people are just trying to do their jobs. It's not like they have other things to worry about. Like, I'm not important. And I wouldn't want to be at all. I just want to blend in. Yeah, cruise boys say MSC are fab at allergies, just lactose intolerant, and they are superb. Yeah, would you trust them 100,000% though? Like cruise boys, given I don't know, I don't know. Which historic ships would you have loved to cruise on? I thought it said what ships did I cruise on, meaning Titanic, Olympic. um, I mean, I don't think I would have been a cruiser if we were way back then. Like I don't know. I have been watching on Netflix. Has anyone been watching 1899? I really liked that show. Bizarre, but it's set on a traditional ocean liner in 1899, and it would be fun, but I don't know. They didn't have such great stabilizers back then. I'd be super seasick. It takes ages to get anywhere. They definitely don't have vegetarian food. Justin is on board Norwegian Sun right now. Yes. So Justin got on, not when I got off, but like I got off, the ship carried on for 2 days and then he got on. It was a bit of a strange cruise that I took because I took an 8-day cruise, a repositioning cruise from one place to the other, which is another reason why it was cheap. But it did go back to the original place 2 days later. So I could either have done an 8-day cruise or a 10-day cruise, but I never saw the option for 10 days. But everything on board was like, the show would be, oh, tomorrow we've got this for you and this is happening. And I'm like, I'm going home tomorrow. I don't know how many people got off when I did, but Justin got on in Lisbon. So, and my mum says she'd like to go on QE too. Will I take her to Dubai to try her out? That'll be interesting. Never say never. Never say never. Oh, 1899 is intense. Yes. Oh, absolutely intense. So intense and bizarre. Really a bizarre show, but I liked it. Do you guys like my Christmas nails? It's December. I'm like, Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. Um, do you prefer this smaller Norwegian ship or the Encore breakaway class? There's things I like about both of them. I think when you cruise on a small ship, you have more space per person. And on a lot of the bigger ships, if you look at a bigger ship, they've just added in like an extra 5 decks of cabins, which often means just a lot more people. And on a lot of the newer Norwegian ships, I find that everything, that in every single corner, they're like ice bar, water slides. There's so much stuff. And if you have a look at the ones with the go-karts on them, if you look at the top deck, a third is a go-kart track, a third is the haven, and then there's a third for regular people. So I quite like on the smaller ships like Sun, you can just go anywhere. There's no haven on Sun. And it doesn't feel like everything is stuck in all of the corners. So it's more relaxing. If you want a relaxing cruise, absolutely. If you want to go on the go-karts, you're going to find Norwegian Sun really boring. There's no anything like that. So both are good. Both are good. Justin says, can't see your live stream because of internet. I can see the chat and I will watch the replay. Awesome. Awesome. What is the maximum capacity? Oh my goodness, I can't remember what the maximum passengers are on Azamara. If you Google it, it will come up. It's pretty easy. Or if you watch my video about the Azamara cruise, I'm sure I say in there what it is, but I can't keep in my brain maximum capacities and actual capacities of all of these cruise lines. All the time I get comments, and it will be like, oh, where is this? What is this cabin number? I don't know, this was 5 years ago. To you, you've just watched it. My dad's in here, John's in here. John says 600, my dad says 645. So roughly something around that. Something around that. Yes, Norwegian Sun was the Norwegian ship where they had a completely free bar for a while. They don't have that anymore. They don't have that. But they did for a while. I did have the inclusive drinks, so it was pretty cool having that. Tried different cocktails and stuff, which was nice. It was good. Michael says, do you have any opinions on... Oh, and I've lost your comment. Do I have any opinions on... Lost the comment. When to cruise and what lines as a single USA that provides the lowest fare and least crowded ship. Oh, that's tricky. That is very, very tricky. The best for solos tends to be Norwegian, but their ships can go quite crowded on the newer ships. I know Justin, who's the one who's reading but can't see, is cruising now with NCL solo, always cruising solo, and absolutely loves it. So yes, they're a good one. Most cruise lines you can cruise solo if you're flexible on where you're going, when you're going. Cruise lines, even random ones like P&O, they'll have solo offers. So but you do need to be flexible on it if you want to bargain. It is tricky. It is tricky. Alana's in here. Hello, Alana. I was talking about you yesterday, actually. So maybe you heard that. We were saying all good things about you, I promise. Um, Interesting perspective on Norwegian Sun and smaller ships. I should give this class a try. I really like it, you know. So we had 1,400, I think, passengers on that ship out of 1,900. You can always ask a reception, you know, and I think it's quite. Obviously, don't go when it's really busy. Don't go on the first day. Don't go on the last day. But if you're wandering past the reception desk in the evening and they're just stood there, um, I don't think they don't mind. They really don't mind. And probably when they see you coming up, they're like, "Oh, what is the problem now?" And when you just ask a normal question, they're like, "Phew," so they don't mind. Would you ever go on one of those huge yachts turned into mini luxury cruises? I did dock next to one of these. It's not a yacht, but I docked next to one of the ones with sails on this cruise. And I thought, you know, I'll have a Google while I'm here. Eating dinner with these nice big windows. That's one thing I really like about the older Norwegian ships. All the restaurants are really kind of open with glass on all the sides. You can sit, you can look out. It's very nice. I thought I'd have a Google and see, you know, how much it was. It was like 400, 500 pounds a night. I would do it, but I'm not about to spend 400 or 500 pounds per night on a cruise myself, am I? So your ears were burning. Yes, all good things, all good things. I promise. We were talking. Alana just hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, so that's why we were talking about you, Alana. Congratulations! It is lovely to be in the 100+ club with Alana. Like, I'm glad you're here. Should I take the train from London to Southampton the day before, or will it be okay to embark on the day? I would do the day before, knowing the trains. It's not that far, you know. It's not that far. But if you have the option to stay, come down and stay if you can. My mum says, "Congratulations, Emma, on hitting 175,000 subscribers today." Normally, I don't say these things. If you say on the internet, "I hit 175,000," people will unsubscribe just to like annoy you. So I normally don't say it. But yes, we got 175. Tony, I think, has just gone over 200,000. It's a very exciting time for cruising. You know, everyone wants to get out and cruise again, which is so cool. I went to this dinner yesterday with Princess, talking about their future plans and their new ships and where they're going to go and all these new 31-day itineraries and amazing things that they're doing, and just how the industry is booming right now, which is so good. We've waited. We've waited. My mum says, "Sorry, I will shut up." Mum, I forgive you, of course. I always have the choice to read comments and not say them. This is my live stream. Mark says, "Have any cruise companies made you dubious offers? Free cruise, more soda than you can drink." Dubious offers makes me laugh. I've done a couple of free cruises. It's not free. I'm working, obviously, but I've done a couple of press trips. If you look at my videos, it will say add invite on all the press trips, and it comes up with like a paid promotion thing. But I did this year. I only did one with a cycling company, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm doing it again next year. And last year, I did a couple of the press trips with Princess and Celebrity round Britain. That was when we were going round and round Britain again. But you'll see always add invite. No one has ever offered me more soda than I can drink. I don't think that's an amount. And you know, on a cruise, I can get unlimited soda for about like £8 a day. So that is definitely not worth it. Oh my goodness, I saw 16-day Panama Canal. Oh my goodness, amazing. Amazing, amazing. Oh, have the best time. I'd love to do Panama Canal. Everything I know about Panama Canal comes from Gary. Gary is my expert. How were the cookies on Norwegian? They were fantastic. The only bad thing was kind of the access to the cookies. The quality of the cookies was very, very good, but it was kind of hit and miss as to when you could get them. That's what I like about Princess. You always can get them at International Cafe, pretty much. And when I was on Princess in the summer, the waitress would see me and my brother there and would be like, "Diet Coke and a cookie?" Yep, Diet Coke and a cookie. Not Pepsi, sadly, but Diet Coke and a cookie. Yeah, only 90 minutes by train. Watch out for the strikes. Yeah, so true, so true. Oh, Shane says, "Is there an easy way to tell if my travel insurance includes cruise cover? I've read the fine print and it never mentions cruises, just trips. If it doesn't mention cruises, it does not have cruise cover unless it specifically says cruise cover. And normally it's a extra box you have to tick. It's something you have to add on. It makes it more expensive. So if it does not say, it does not. You know, it has to specifically say yes. So don't, please get one with cruise. Please, please, please." Do you plane travel or only cruises? I go by plane because Sometimes there's just nicer places I want to go. As much as I love cruising out of the UK, it's fantastic. But on this cruise, for example, we went from Lisbon, it's 2 hours on a plane, and it is a world away. Like the skies are blue, it is warm, it's not dark at 3:30, and it is fantastic. It is fantastic. Justin says it's amazing she has so many subscribers since half the people who watch our live streams don't hit the like button. I know. I mean, the majority of people who watch my channel are not subscribed at all. Like 85% of the viewers aren't subscribed. And obviously, I try and convince them to subscribe, but it's quite hard. It's quite hard. Jonathan's here after a 13 hours sleep. I did mention in one of my YouTube videos recently, I slept for 14 hours because I had to get up really early, travel all day. It was a long day. I slept for 14 hours. And so many comments are like, I've never slept 14. I could have slept longer. That was only because my alarm went off that I got up. So me and Jonathan, I understand. I understand. If you take Princess again, just tell me what ship and I may try to convince someone to give you more cookies. There's unlimited cookies already. I've never managed to reach the limit. So Justin says, your sweater is electric. Thank you so much. It is. Adam says, what is Pepsi Max most similar to in the American market? You can get Pepsi Max in America. You know, I always say that you can't, and then people are like, I have it. So you can get it. They have like Pepsi Zero or something, which is similar to Pepsi Max, but I guess Coke Zero is like this is the Pepsi version of Coke Zero, if that makes sense. Not Diet Coke, Coke Zero, if that makes sense. I will say, you know, on Norwegian, they've gone to Coke now. They've gone to the Coke side, but it's the type of Coke that you get in McDonald's that comes from the fountain. It's really good. They must up the like syrup on it. It was so much better than Diet Coke from a can. So much better. So much better. Jane says, does the onboard experience on a ship change when the destination changes, like Alaska, then Mexico? That's an interesting question. That's great. Depends on the cruise line, to be quite honest with you. Some of them, like Princess, they'll have a lot of acts that come on board from the local places. So when you go to certain places, you'll have certain shows. Some, not so much. You know, some will do the same shows over and over again. It depends on the cruise line and how, you know, cruise lines like Celebrity talk about how immersive they are in the places they're going, and Vikings all about the places that they're going. Whereas if you go on, I don't know, MSC to an extent, cruise lines like that, they have the same shows pretty much over and over again. Just look for Pepsi with a black label. Interesting. First saw you in Project 24. Hello from Project 24. It's always interesting when you see, you know, from different parts of your life that they collide. At one point, I was on a work meeting call, like a big call, just our voices on a call, and someone was like, Emma, I recognize your voice. And I worked in insurance. There was no reason for them to recognize my channel. But sometimes things cross over, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, Project 24, it was like a blogging course that I took a couple of years ago in the US. So it's nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Doing a cruise from Japan, I am so envious. We live 14 hours behind Tokyo time. How difficult is it to adjust? 14 hours behind Tokyo time. That is tricky to go that way, I think. It's easier to go backwards. You know, when I come across to the US, from the UK to the US, all I have to do really is stay awake really late one night and then sleep in, that's my routine anyway. The hardest thing is going the other way because you're forcing yourself to sleep when it's the middle of the day. They say you're supposed to kind of sync your food. That's more important than syncing your sleep. So I guess you could try and do that. But you'll be so excited. That's the thing. When you go somewhere, you're so excited to see everything and do everything. It's always better than coming home and you've got all your washing to do and like everything's waiting for you. So it'll be fine. You will be fine. How long does insurance take to pay out? We've been waiting since August. So it depends very much on the cruise line. My mum and dad are in the chat. They did a claim for a missed port the same time as me, and they got there within a week. I think they got their money. Mine said we will reply within 10 weeks, and then who knows after that. So sometimes it can be months to months. That's not that abnormal. If it's more than a couple of months, though, like I don't think that's a very good thing, but it's not unheard of. It doesn't mean that they've lost your, you know, it's completely fine. Completely fine. You should drink some lemon tea. Should I? I drink a lot of tea, normally peppermint tea though. Lemon tea seems like the sort of thing you would maybe drink if you were ill. Yeah, 3 days. My mom got her money back in 3 days with the post office. That's pretty good, isn't it? I am gonna put together a proper thing about, missed port cover, how to get it, how to check if you have it, which companies do it. I have taken a gamble with mine. So I'm not much of a gambler when I go on a cruise. I might gamble like $10, but I made a gamble when I bought my travel insurance. And I think it's one that's worth it because I upgraded my policy to one that was more expensive, but it gave me more money per missed port. And this cover, if I miss a port, should give me £500. If you're on the ship and the weather's too bad and they have to change port, or we miss a port, we can't dock there, we have a sea day, £500. And my insurance was nowhere near £500. It was like £150 for the year. And given how much I cruise, statistically, I'm pretty sure, I think it's 1 in 4 of my cruises I've had a missed port in. So I think statistically, I'm more likely to win this one, which you never really want to win your insurance, but £500 is a lot of money for missing a port. I would accept a sea day for £500. So we will see. We will see. Jonathan had a peppermint Hershey's kiss. It's Hershey's though. That's the problem. Oh, my gran drinks lemon tea, granulated from Lidl. Sounds. I'm sure I've had it then at Gran's house. It just seems like a thing you would do if you were a bit sick. Sean says, "Do we have a Zoom this Sunday?" Yes. If you are a Patreon or a channel member on the Zoomy tier, our Zoom is this Sunday. It'll be 6 p.m. UK time, and I'm looking forward to it. Something to look. That makes sense. I was confused about that. My voice feels fine, so I kind of forget that it sounds a bit odd. It's just from using it. So yes. Yes, so many people do not think that they can claim on insurance. It obviously depends if you have insurance that has missed port cover, but I always make sure I get it because I just I benefit from it normally, given how much I cruise. Do you like sunny or cold locations for a cruise? I like both of them. I think Norway is one of my favorite places to cruise, full stop. But it can be rainy there, but then also it's beautiful if it's rainy there, and if it's cold, it's a bit mysterious. But I do think my happiness is linked to the blue skies. I don't really care how cold it is, but when it's dark all the time, I don't really like that so much. So that makes sense. So my next cruise, you've been asking me for this, this one for a while. I'm taking an ambassador cruise. So this is the newest British cruise line that says they have nothing to do with CMB, despite being run by the people who ran CMB, having the same ships, the same target market, the same everything. So let's just think of it as new CMB. I'm taking a cruise with them, and I'm interested in it. I still have to do a COVID test, and I have to do like a proper one. It's free, they pay for it, but I have to order a COVID test and do it. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm interested. I had to phone up and pay. Phone up and pay. I couldn't pay online. I work with travel counselors here in the UK. They won't work with Ambassador yet because Ambassador doesn't have the right sort of financial protections. And that's, you would think that's a red flag, but I'm up for it. I'll test it for you and I'll let you know if it's good or not. Because it'll be nice to have more options. So we will see. It's just a little cruise. And it looks interesting. It looks interesting to me. So this ship, the ship that we're sailing on, is called Ambience, and it was on its way to the shipyard when they turned it round, pretty much, and they bought it. So we will see. Should it be heading to the shipyard, or should it be saved? We will find out. For the new subscribers, what is up with these potato comments? I haven't seen that many potato comments today. Normally we have more. But I was on a live stream like this and I mentioned, YouTube is very driven by the comments. Like it really likes engagement. It wants everyone to talk about everything. So I said it helps my channel out. If you're watching a video, you have nothing to say, just leave a potato. Like leave a comment about potatoes, your favorite type of potato. That helps me, and now people will fit in ambassador to what they'll fit in potatoes, I mean, to whatever they're doing. So they'll be like, oh, that's nice potato there, or at this time frame, nice potato. And it just makes me laugh. Yeah, I do not measure things in potatoes. This is a different thing because a potato is very variable in length. So I measure things in toothpaste because you always have a toothpaste in the bathroom, right? If you want to know how big the shower is, you measure it in toothpaste. I had so many comments on there saying, the iPhone has a tape measure. I know, and it works. I know, but toothpaste is a lot more fun than that one. can you still earn membership points with a cruise line if you're booking through a travel agent? Yes, absolutely. You can still use, like, if you have future cruise credit certificates, if you have any sort of cruise next certificates, anything that happened from the pandemic, you can do all of that through a travel agent. It still goes through the normal cruise line. You still have your like loyalty number. It's still exactly the same. You just have someone else in the middle who will sort out anything when it goes wrong. And I made the mistake. I did not book my flights through travel counselors for my last cruise, and I have had a whole world of pain with my flights being cancelled, and they won't give me a refund. And I just wish that Emma was sorting it out instead of me. But it's my fault. It's my fault. A lot of YouTubers, once they get to a certain amount of income, will hire a staff social media slash editor. Will that happen to you one day? I don't know. I've thought about getting help with the editing because it takes me 3 or 4 days to edit a video. But the thing is it's so niche what I do, and it's my holiday. It's so me. And if I gave it to someone else to edit it, I think no one would know. Like the level of detail I'd have to give someone about, oh, that's this lounge, this is this lounge. You can't, there's so many things that we know that if I tried to get someone else to edit it, you'd be like, oh, that's very wrong. That's not that. That's not the words we use, or I don't know. At some point, if I want to carry on, I'm gonna have to get some help with something. I can't do everything myself forever, but at the minute, I'm doing all right. Yeah, exactly. You spend more time explaining than, yeah, kind of. I am sort of investing more in my own learning of editing because I'm kind of just doing things the way that I've always done them. But if there's things I can do to make things faster, or like tools I can buy to like sort things out, I think that's a better option for me. So I have changed the editing software now. The plan is that the new one will be faster, but of course I have to restart and learn everything from the beginning again. But it is fun. I do like the editing. The social media side, that is a whole different game. And I wouldn't want someone else to ever pretend to be me on, Facebook or Instagram. But it'd be very helpful to have, if someone could take my YouTube videos, chop them up, put them on, like that would be fantastic. But I've not really found a company that does that what I want yet. So at the minute is all still me, all still me. But then also I spent some time today making a YouTube short. I'm going to put it on Facebook. I'm going to put it on TikTok, and I really like it. It's really fun. It's not the best use of my time, but yes. Husband is the manager. Yeah, Hudson is the watcher over. He sees everything that I do. He sits with me. Um, yeah, editing is very personal. It is very personal. Yes. Oh, thanks for. I like it when someone else comments someone else's comment so I can see it. Do you think it's worth cruising as a first-time cruiser with a toddler, or better wait till he's a little older? It depends. The toddler is not gonna appreciate it or care. The things, I think the things that toddlers actually like, they're quite easy to please a lot of the time, so they're not going to need the go-karts, the water slides, like all that stuff. So quite often people will bring like little paddling pools, put them on the balcony and stuff, which is quite cool. But if you want to go and you don't want to, if you would be leaving them at home and then spending the whole time thinking like, oh, I wonder if they're okay, I understand that, bring them, but realize it for them, it's not really, I don't know. I probably would wait a little bit longer, but I wouldn't want to. Yeah. Yeah. um mm-mm-mm. I see replies like that are interesting, but I can't see the original comments. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just see Jackie and like Cruise Boys talking about the strange people in the comments. Yeah, pick a shit with the kids club. Absolutely. Some do have, some for babies they'll charge like a babysitting fee, and then at a certain point it'll become free. If they're a toddler, they'll probably go to the kids clubs and stuff. So I guess so. I'm sure they would enjoy it. I'm not saying they wouldn't enjoy it. They absolutely would, but I don't know that they need everything that's kind of there as much as like if you're 8 or you're 10 or you're even if you're 6 or 4, you can kind of enjoy it a bit more, I guess. What company is that £500 misport? Is one called Cover for You? Cover for You. They're slow. They're absolutely slow. But if future me gets £500, I don't mind waiting for it. Yeah, that's so true. Francisco says, had a great time with a 1-year-old. Ice cream for breakfast. Sure. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, some cruise lines will not give the kids the status until they're an adult. That's the only way I have the loyalty status with Norwegian because I was a child, so I gained the points. Thank you very much. Um, but yeah, some cruise lines will do that. Some not. Love your shirt, lightning bolts. Yeah, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Any Cunard cruises planned for the future? No, not at the minute. Never say never, but I've done Victoria, I've done Queen Mary too. Um, they're pretty, they're pretty similar to each other. So sometimes. Oh wow, William is taking a Norwegian Pearl cruise. It's a themed. It's not. It is not just a themed cruise, but it's run by rock and roll. Cool. That sounds awesome. I've never done a cruise like that. I've done 90s themed cruises a couple of times. They're fantastic. And they were kind of like festivals at sea, but it was like Five, Bewitched, S Club 7, but it was like two members of S Club 7, three people from Five. It was fantastic. It was really good, but it was really, really busy. Really busy. There's no way you could do everything on the schedule. I ran at one point from something to something else because I didn't want to miss it, and it was a lot. It was a lot. Ashley says, "Must have missed you at the terminal getting off the Sun." So I got off. Um, yeah, I don't feel like I got off at the end of the cruise. So it depends if you got on at the beginning or somewhere else. My daughter loved 20 days with the kids clubs. Oh my goodness, amazing. Um, Celebrity is going for a younger demographic and then princess. Oh, celebrity or princess? I like celebrity. I like princess. I think the food's better on celebrity. Princess has much better technology. Absolutely has much better technology. And I think I prefer the princess ships, but I've not done like a new celebrity ship. Having gone to the princess thing yesterday, they said that celebrity is all about luxury, princess is all about love. It's all romantic. That's what we're supposed to think of when we think of princess. So does that help? I don't know. If you go on my channel, I did two British Isles cruises, one with celebrity and one with princess last year, to the same places. So if you want a comparison, they're probably the best videos to watch. What is the coldest cruise I've done? I went to Alaska, which was pretty cold, but I think it's probably the coldest is probably like a Baltic cruise in winter. I don't think, yeah. Norway, I suppose, is quite cold, but I always cruise in January and November and December. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. S Club 4. I think it was S Club 2. To be quite honest, I think it was S Club 2. Paul says, "Do you ever envisage a time that you'll drink anything other than Coke?" I think people think I drink a lot more soda than I really do. When I'm on a cruise, I just get the soda package because I don't drink that much, and it's not worth it. But like right now, I'm drinking squash. Yesterday, I was drinking wine. I didn't have any soda. Didn't have any soda yesterday. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I did. I had one yesterday. But I drink a lot of tea every single day. I drink cocktails and stuff. Sean says, "Love your channel. Just wanted to say hi." Well, hello, Sean. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Do passports get checked on and off at every port or just when you get on the cruise initially? It depends where you are. And if you need a passport for a place, the cruise ship will tell you in the daily schedule and stuff. Make sure you have your passport. When I did the cruise that I did to Canada, every time we got on, they checked our passports again. And when we were kind of in, you know, sometimes when you're in Asia, places like that, they'll want the passport, but not always. Not always. I didn't take my passport out with me. They advised us not to. I normally have my driving license and stuff when I'm in the Canary Islands, and that's okay. Brent says, "Editing's very personal, and I respect you for doing your own, especially since starting my own channel." Yeah, all of my stuff is, I don't know how many years, 6 years of trial and error, trial and error for 6 years. And hopefully it's getting better. When I look at my old stuff, I cringe. So I think that's a good sign. I think that's a good sign. Oh no, yeah, our Viking expert is not here. Oh, yeah, Lou is the one that we need. He's the one that we need. Um, yeah, no, I not qualified to answer this question. If you want like a luxury cruise, I took my first steps into luxury cruising with Azamara. Azamara described themselves as a luxury cruise. I think the price is luxury, but I have so many comments from people who cruise with like Seabourn or Silver Sea being like, "That's not luxury." Well, you take that up then with Azamara, not me. Have you ever done a lifeboat drill where you need to get on the lifeboats? That is not a thing. No one that I ever know of has done that. That's not a thing. The crew do test the lifeboats. You know, they drop them down, they take them out, they bring them back. They do. I have been on a cruise before where I've seen like they throw things off and then pretend they're a person. They go get them, so that like they're tested. But all you have to do is stand on the promenade deck. You don't have to do that. If you're going on a tender, if you're in a port where you can't dock and you have to use the boats, then you'll get to go on the lifeboats, which is quite fun sometimes. We did have to do a proper old school muster on Norwegian, which was really weird. It was kind of everybody stand on the promenade deck for 20 minutes and we will tell you generic information about don't fall over the step in your bathroom, don't, you know, hold the handrails. It was really strange. And what was stranger was we had to watch all of this information before when we got on board because of the new style where you do it on your phone. So I'd already watched it and then we all had to go there. Really weird. Normally you'll watch the videos on your phone, you'll watch them on your TV, and you still have to go to the station, but it's just like a check-in. You don't have to all be there at the same time. And everyone is there. All of the stations were on the promenade deck. So the whole ship on both sides, you stand next to people, they're coughing in your face for 20 minutes and you cannot leave. So I don't like that. I don't like that. Are you single? No. There we go. After going on Azamara, would you ever go on the new Ritz-Carlton? Yes, I would absolutely love to, but that's not going to be something that is in my budget anytime soon. I've had a look, you know, I've done my research. We docked next to this ship when we were in Barcelona, so we did a bit of research on it, but it is, as so far, you know, it'll be a fantastic story, it'll be absolutely brilliant, but I need to get in contact with the right people, I think. Would you do another Christmas cruise after last year's excitement? Yes, it's absolutely not put me off Christmas cruising. Nuh-uh, it was fantastic. But last Christmas, I took a Canary Island cruise that went from England. I wouldn't have booked that itinerary, but it was still kind of during COVID times. The itinerary that I booked didn't exist, and it was like, would you prefer this or nothing? Obviously, I prefer this than nothing. So we went on it, and it was supposed to have 3 sea days that went down to the Canary Islands. Normally, I wouldn't book a cruise with 3 sea days because I do get quite seasick, and there's just risk there. You know, cruising at Christmas through the Bay of Biscay. And we had the worst weather. We had 3 storms during that cruise. We couldn't dock in Madeira. We had an extra sea day. Yeah, so it's put me off going from the UK to the Canary Islands in winter. But the Christmas part is absolutely fantastic. I love being on a cruise at Christmas. I'll do that all the time. Can I see your cat toy up close? The cat that's always in your videos? No, you cannot. Because soon we will have Hudson plushies, and I will. It's on the way. As soon as they arrive, I will show you. Yeah. What is the best food you've ever had on a cruise? Virgin Voyages. Azamara. Azamara, hands down. Question answered. And it's so nice for me to finally have an answer to that, because food is very subjective, of course. But for me, the food was the best that I've had on a cruise in a long, long time. Virgin Voyages food was good. And they have a lot of good like vegan and vegetarian options on there. But Azamara was better. It was just maybe more my choice, more what I would choose to do. So yes. It is nearly an hour up for this live stream. This live stream goes so fast. And I think this has made my voice better, actually. So all I needed was an hour of talking, and now it's kind of come back. But I will be here next week at the same time. So, oh, Emma's in here. She says, look at Oceana. When I was on Azamara, everyone had cruised with Oceana. Everyone compared it to Oceana. So yeah, they all had fantastic things to say about it. They've got the same kind of R-class ships. If you haven't seen my video that I made about the Azamara cruise, or the one that I made about my cabin, check that out, because I think it's interesting. It's not what I expected from the cabin. Yeah, so okay, we're nearly at the end of these live streams. I always get so distracted. It's so hard to wrap these up. But I'll be here at the same time next week, so everything is kind of back to normal for a little while. And thank you so much for joining me for these. I really like these. You know, it's just so nice. It's just a nice way to sort of end the week. And it's just not. It's so nice to see the same names. I recognize the same people who've been here for years and years and years. And I know I've been here for years and years, but I kind of have to. You guys don't have to, but I appreciate that you do. Would you say the MSA buffet food is good? Yes, I actually would. You know, MSC gets a bad rap for their food, but we had fantastic buffet food, really good buffet food on my last MSC cruise, the one before that. It was really, really good. Really, really good. I enjoyed your live stream, Emma. Thank you for your great outlook. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so for those of you who are the Patreons and the members in the higher tier, I will see you on Sunday for our Zoom call. And if not, I will see you maybe in the podcast on Monday and then back live again next week. But I'm going back into editing for a while. Give me a few days, and hopefully by the end of the week, next week, I'll have a video ready for you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Francisco. Thank you, David. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, everybody who's in here. Okay, right. I will see you later. Bye, everybody.